Let's chat with Liara, see how she's doing.
How are you doing, Liara?
I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. The Shadow Broker had more resources than you can imagine. Here, come on over. He had top-level access to the Turian and Asari governments. And more than one Solarian Dalatros traded intel. And now it's ours.
Yes. That may be. But, that being said, is it too much? Because, that does sound like the kind of information, the kind of power that we should be careful about, Can't just be throwing that kind of power around recklessly, otherwise stuff is gonna happen that maybe you didn't plan for, and chaos could ensue. Things could definitely blow up real quick, backfire, and that's not what you want to see.
You're not gonna turn into a recluse with creepy information on everyone in the galaxy, are you?
I hope not.
I can understand the temptation. I've got all the secrets of the galaxy at my fingertips. Give me 10 minutes and I could start a war.
Whoa
But
there.
I've got a purpose.
Slow
Helping
down,
you stop
Liara.
the Reapers. That will keep me honest.
I hope so, because it already sounds like the power's getting to your head.
Relatively speaking.
Making me a little nervous here, Liara. The whole I could start a war in 10 minutes thing? Maybe not a good way to start things off in your new role. Be careful.
You're not gonna turn into a recluse with creepy
that's
information
okay.
on
Well, we
everyone
asked
in
her
the
about this.
I
galaxy.
Hold
can
on.
understand.
That is what we said before, but still relevant.
Relatively speaking.
So, what are the next steps for you in that case?
Have you found anything useful yet?
The Shadow Broker knew about the Reapers. Perhaps that's why he offered to help prove Saren's guilt to the Council.
He didn't want Saren to succeed.
I guess.
He knew you weren't lying about your visions of the Prothean beacon.
Okay.
There's even some data on the Protheans. I think he knew what was coming and was looking for a way to survive.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds pretty big. Protein data?
Why was he still looking at Protheans? They gave us the warning and the conduit at Ilos, but we've used those.
The Shadow Broker seemed to think there was more out there. Perhaps the Protheans had other plans. Or maybe he was just grasping at anything that offered some hope.
It does seem as though whenever we find any sort of protein technology, it is always something that is very much worth investigating because it could lead to some other scientific breakthroughs. So, I don't know, Shepard, that feels a little disingenuous to suddenly just dismiss protein technology, protein research as useless because it was a humongous emphasis in Mass Effect 1. Sure, we did investigate and learn from the beacons and what have you, but if Shadow Broker has that type of information and can connect some dots with other things that he knows, then that's definitely not like that's just some childish or silly waste of time there. No, it's definitely the type of thing that would be good. Let's see, about the Shadow Broker species. You said something about Yogg?
How'd you know what the Shadow Broker was?
I didn't. I had no idea what to expect when we finally found him. But I researched pre-spaceflight cultures during some of my Prothean studies. I know a bit about the Yogg. There's more on the terminals if you want to look. They're a fascinating culture, and a terrifying one.
We just checked the terminals, I thought, and didn't see anything about it, but I don't know, maybe it's there now. Farron, how's he doing, the guy that we helped rescue?
How's Farron doing?
As well as you'd expect, after 2 years of intermittent torture.
You gonna be okay?
I don't know. He wants to work, so I'm letting him help. Maybe it takes his mind off it.
Ask if they're a thing.
So, you and Farron?
No. He's been through a traumatic ordeal. He's emotionally fragile and needs to heal. He's very grateful to me for saving him. But it would be irresponsible of me to take advantage of that.
Good for you. Good for you for realizing that. That's very honorable.
It was good talking with you, Liara. Let me know if you need anything.
I think what I need right now is a friend. I can't leave for too long, but spending all my time on this ship. Maybe next time you come by, I could come up to the Normandy.
Well... so, of course, we deliberately opted not to romance Liara in Mass Effect 1, and she does seem to be putting on some of the moves here. So, I think, given the extent that we went through to make that not be the person we were romancing in Mass Effect 1, I think we just flat out shut her down here. Sorry, Liara, but no.
It's not a good idea, Liara. Let's keep it professional.
Of course. I understand. I'll be here if you ever need me.
Alright, I mean, we can check that terminal and see if there happens to be anything about the Yogg, but obviously there wasn't before. Dossiers? Unless it's elsewhere? Oh, hold on, there's more. Oh, there's a lot more. Oh, there's a lot more. Okay, we did obviously do a lot of these. So... not necessarily sure we're gonna look at Commander Bailey, Arya, Captain Anderson, Admiral Hackett, and the Shadowbroker right now. Maybe we'll do the Shadowbroker and just the Shadowbroker, because obviously it is particularly relevant after having just fought him. So to the Shadowbroker from Operative Keklu, per your request, we've landed on the Yogg homeworld and captured a specimen for your studies. We actually had to kill several of them before finding this one, which seemed interested in leaving the planet. Hopefully this means he's more tractable. This is probably to the old Shadowbroker, and this is going to be, the Yogg in question is going to be the one that murders the Shadowbroker and becomes the one that, or becomes the new Shadowbroker. I do recommend caution, however. These creatures may indeed be valuable shock troops or bodyguards, but their savagery puts even the Krogan to shame. As near as we can tell, it's part of their culture. They're not simple brutes like most Krogan. The one we've got is learning nearly as fast as a Solarian. He could be more dangerous than you realize. Okay, then to Operative Keklu from the Shadowbroker. If you're reading this, my young friend, then you've eliminated the former Operative Keklu, and have taken his position. These past few months have seen you learn and grow at a rate I would never have credited had I not seen it to it personally. You already understand 17 languages without translator assistance, and your political predictions have bettered some of my best agents. As Keklu, you will command strike teams to gather intelligence and neutralize potential threats. Sounds like the Yogg in question killed one of the Shadowbroker's agents, and now the Shadowbroker is saying, hey, why don't you be my agent instead of Keklu? So you command a strike team to gather intelligence and neutralize potential threats. Remember your training. Losing your temper costs you that priceless mind of yours, as well as the loyalty of your men. Shadowbroker leads those who look for secrets. He must be trusted by his men so that he can in turn trust them. Gathering knowledge is a holy task, one I'm sure you understand, as you wanted to be off your homeworld so badly to see what wonders awaited you here. So that sounds like the origin story for the Shadowbroker that we just fought and killed. How he got captured and brought on originally as, I think it was supposed to be some kind of test subject, but then killed the captor, and then the Shadowbroker at the time thought, okay, we'll have him be one of my agents, and then, of course, later on that that was just the beginning of said Yogg killing the Shadowbroker, becoming the Shadowbroker, and then us fighting him.
Acquired the soul name for the leader of the Hanar's Enkindler religion.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Let's see. We did get a codex entry for the Yogg, which was what I was thinking would be cool to read up on. Shadow Games, Shadowbroker's Secrets. The Yogg. The Yogg are a race of massive apex predators from the world of Parnak, whose rise to sentience in no way blunted their violent nature. A group of Yogg is unable to cooperate until a single leader has been determined through either social maneuvering or brute force. But no grudges are held once a Yogg establishes dominance. Former rivals serve their new superior's purpose with unflinching loyalty and relentless determination, a legacy of their origin as pack species. Their 8 eyes are another sign of their hunter ancestry. All 4 pairs are geared toward tracking down and predicting the movements of prey. Sophisticated and keenly developed sensitivity to movement and light have made Yogs masters of reading body language regardless of species. Much to their short-lived chagrin, the Council's first contact teams discovered it was nearly impossible to lie to the Yog. The Yog had technology equivalent to 20th century Earth standards when they were discovered by the Council in 2125. The Council's ambassadors approached the Yog as friends and allies instead of subordinates, a baffling sign of contempt for newcomers on Pardak. Wait, they approached them as friends and allies instead of subordinates? Interesting. I would have thought, if anything, that the Yog would have accepted. I guess they didn't earn the friendship yet. The Yog attacked when it became apparent that the alien diplomats stubbornly considered themselves sovereign people instead of new underlings. Oh. Pardak remains off-limits by order of the Council, which fears that the Yog's size, aggression, and obsession with control makes them poorly suited for integration into the galactic community. Sorry, Yog, but they have the strength, they have the smarts, they're just too dangerous. As we saw with this Shadow Broker, if they get the opportunity, they can manipulate the entire galaxy with information and, well, a little private army as well. Now, one of the other reasons to do the Shadow Broker, as early as we did, was because we can get this delivery pickup here, which in this case will give us a shipment of iridium. However, this is... Do this again? No shipments, okay. So, the way this works is that what we can do is on future occasions we can come back here to the lair of the Shadow Broker here with Liara now as Shadow Broker, and we can go back, check out the other dossiers if we wanted to. We can, more importantly...
Elco's Combine stock reports are hiding a weakness in their last quarterly financial statements. I'm downloading their pre-audit papers.
Nice. But more importantly, we can go back to check in on our investments, and most importantly, we can go and use this delivery pickup to, after every other mission, or after completing every mission, we can come back here and either get more of those resources or get a bunch of credits. So that is another reason for doing this as early as possible, is it means in total you have more time to gather those resources and gather that monies. But the other thing we have here is a music datapad. There's actually different music
A bribe from Senator James
from what we're
King
used
has
to
secured
in
the
our
2092 Summer
chambers.
Olympics on Luna. Elcor athletes are protesting as expected.
This is very intense. Not sure where this is from. Yeah, our commander's cabin in Mass Effect 1, or our commander's cabin music is Mass Effect 1 music, whereas this might be Mass Effect 2 music here. It's also very intense, but in a different way. Does this music apply in the entire layer, or just this room here? I'm not sure. But anyways, most importantly for this room, I am beating around the bush here.
Salvage team
It's
has
Farron, of
recovered
course.
the remains of your Omega-4 relay probes.
Let's chat.
Shepard, glad you stopped by. We don't get many visitors.
Take it easy. You've been through a lot.
You're probably right. I never did say thanks for the rescue.
Liara never gave up on you, Farron. I just helped.
I'm still amazed Liara came for me. I'll never forget what either of you did.
I can log that in the archives for you, sir.
I see you met the secretary.
Yeah, you could say that. Liara was saying that she wasn't really looking to have a relationship with Farron right now, although I suppose we could ask Farron from his
For 2
perspective.
years, Liara didn't stop looking for you. You two must have been close.
She's a good friend. Better than I deserve.
Okay, then let's see. Other than that, what are your thoughts on Liara as the new Shadow Broker?
How do you think Liara's doing as the new Shadow Broker?
Operations are almost fully recovered after a slight dip in efficiency.
Ever since we repaired the network,
Thanks.
Liara's been glued to the archives. I caught her sleeping at her desk more than once. She's busy, but I think she likes it that way.
So, of course, we're talking to Farron immediately after finishing this mission, so it's a little strange to hear that Liara has been sleeping at the computer, when, of course, it has been, what, an hour or less since she became the Shadow Broker. So, yeah, you know, I think this is largely because, as I was saying, we can come back to this lair here on future occasions in between missions, and so in that case, obviously, there would be a much larger amount of time in between when we see Liara, and would make much more sense for her to actually be falling asleep there. But otherwise, she was dozing off somehow several times in the past hour. It's a little odd. Let's see. Then, how are you doing? Of course, after being hooked up to a torture device.
How are you holding up, Farron?
I'll be alright. I wasn't always strapped into that interrogation chair. Drell can mentally escape into old memories. It came in handy on the bad days.
So, by the way, in case it wasn't clear, Farron here is a species that we have not yet encountered. Although we have technically, I believe, heard of it once before. Drell is the name of that species. And, well, I believe that one case of us having heard of a Drell is Thane, one of the people that we are looking to recruit shortly. But, we, of course, have not recruited him yet. We haven't met him yet. So, this is, in this case, the first Drell we've ever encountered. So, I mean, I'm not sure we really want to ask him how many times he's been tortured. That seems like that might be something he doesn't really want to talk about. But, what about your plans? You gonna stick around here? It sounded like Liara was saying that you were keen on just being a helping hand around here.
What will you do now that you're a free man?
I want to help Liara rebuild this place. But after that...
Your schedule's getting full, sir. Let me sync it to your Omni tool.
No thanks, I'm fine.
Okay. How did you meet Liara?
How did you and Liara both end up looking for my body?
Cerberus headhunted me and Liara to steal your body from the Shadow Broker. I was working for the broker at the time, and he's the one who scraped up your remains in the first place.
Okay. Why did you switch sides in that case?
What turned you against the Shadow Broker?
He started working for the Collectors. You weren't their first victim. Was an information trader, not a slaver.
Okay, I mean, good to see you drew a line in the sand there, even though, I mean, we did hear that there was at least one occasion in which you betrayed Liara. So, we were questioning at one point in time just how much Liara should be trusting you. You know, is it worth all this effort to try to save you when there was at least one time when you backstabbed her? In fact, I think she suggested that it was several times. But I suppose maybe that's just kind of life as an information broker. That's the kind of thing that happens both to you and your people that you work with. So, lastly, the drone.
Looks like you've made a friend.
The drone follows everyone. I don't know why the broker kept it around.
I'm a shell for a specialized data processing VI, custom built to your specifications, Shadow Broker.
It helps coordinate the network's massive information feeds, but it could use a different interface tone.
You deemed my default personality sufficient for your needs, Shadow Broker.
I wish it would stop calling me that.
Alright, fair enough. Well,
Take it easy,
I think that's
Farron.
all. Farron?
Thanks.
Alright. In that case, I think that's just about everything for us to do here. Other than
What is
accessing,
this
well,
console?
video archive. Let's
This
see.
is the video surveillance access point. I've queued up the archive footage you requested on your last visit, Shadow Broker.
Hmm?
Aria Talok, Omega.
Oh? Arya and regards, I guess? Let's play it. Oh. And shooting somebody. As you can see, they are like, I don't have time, or Arya. It's like I don't even have time for this. Just looking away as her guards shoot this guy down. What is the next one?
Emily Wong, Citadel.
Oh, we know Emily Wong, our the good reporter that we were working with in Mass Effect 1. She partying it up. She is. Okay. Sure. I'm not sure why the Shadow Broker is all concerned about Emily Wong's dancing, but okay.
Fred Mazai, Citadel.
You know Fred Mazai? Not sure if we know him.
Donnell Udina, Citadel.
We certainly know Udina. Also, his shoes are atrociously awful. Are those sandals? Socks and sandals? Or is it just that the stripes on his shoes happen to be the same color as his pants? Either way, atrocious fashion choice. Oh. Whoa. Very aggressive, Udina.
Armando Bailey, Citadel.
Oh, that's the, Commander Bailey. Or rather, Captain Bailey? Captain? What's his title? Captain Bailey, I think. Just chilling. Although, he does have a lot of drinks there. Not really sure what the significance of what we're looking at is. Zoom out? No, not really. Doesn't change much.
David Anderson, Citadel.
Captain Anderson? Okay, can't really make much out of that, I suppose. Other than him magically
Major
disappearing.
Galvor, Omega.
Don't think we know this person either. So they're shooting some Vorcha.
Kalisa bint Sinan Al-Jilani, Citadel.
Now that's the reporter we don't like. Oh, we're not the only ones, it seems. Oh, I could watch this one on repeat all day and all night. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Wow! She goes flying.
Keeper 20, Citadel.
Oh? Wait, what? Why is there a dead Krogan next to the Keeper? Did that Keeper kill the Krogan somehow? It's just walking past him as if it did. Okay. Keepers, perhaps a little more dangerous than we give them credit for.
Matriarch Atheta, Ilium.
Is that the bartender on Ilium? That looks like a video of Liara.
Erdnot Torsk, Tuchanka.
Okay. I guess one of Rex's siblings or clanmates? Oh! This is Tuchanka. Apparently.
Elias Kellum, Omega.
Don't think we know you either. Oh dear. Or what was his name? Like Elias Killam? Because, I mean, that's what happened to him.
Jacob Taylor, Normandy SR2.
Excuse me? You have cameras on the Normandy? Yeah, he's doing his workout. We, of course, were reading up on the routine. It's like 500 sit-ups, normal sit-ups, 250 side sit-ups either side, then like 250 half crunches, and then a whole bunch of other stuff too.
Subject 0.
Oh,
Purgatory.
Jack.
Ship now defunct.
So this is an old video then, I suppose. Oh! That's pretty epic. But as she was escaping? Yeah? Well done, Jack. That's pretty sweet right there.
Arya T'Loak.
Okay, we saw Arya. Okay. We've seen all those, but some interesting stuff there. Check for more videos on your next visit. I'm actually not sure if we get new videos on subsequent visits, or if that's all we're ever going to see. And they're just going to be repeats. I am not sure. But anyways...
Is up 3%. I've sold your stock before tomorrow's market crash.
knows that there's going to be a crash tomorrow. I believe that is everything we have to do here on the Shadow Broker's base. We do have more dossiers, but as I was saying, we read a whole lot of those in the interest of not reading for 3 hours straight. We'll carry on, I think, as the music picks up. And yes, as we can hear here, it does definitely apply for the entirety of the base, not just that one room. And so if we go back here, we can return to the Normandy, which we shall do now. Alright, so, Lair the Shadow Broker complete. But as I was saying, it is a place where we theoretically can go back on future occasions and check in on our investment opportunities and get more supply.
Commander, Morden requests to see you.
Oh, okay. Get more supply shipments.
I bumped into Zaid recently. Quite the character. Given how much violence and destruction that man's seen, he's surprisingly well adjusted.
Didn't you
Still,
tell us this before?
I wouldn't want to be alone with them. Anyway, what's up?
Which is interesting that you say that, because, well, at the Shadow Broker's lair, we did, in fact, learn of a time in which you were spending some time alone with him. So, I don't know, you just trying to cover up for, some one-on-one time with Zaid? You just don't want us to catch on? I don't know.
Is there anything I should know?
Morden would like to speak with you over in his tech lab. Jack would like to see you down in her hidey hole on the engineering deck. Anything
Oh,
else,
wow.
Commander?
Lots of people that want to speak to us, okay?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
Except
I better
nothing
go.
new there.
Maybe
Okay,
we'll
before
talk
we
later.
carry on, though, let's see if Joker has anything to say about that most recent mission. Before we forget to ask him.
Commander,
Perhaps not, though.
I assume everything is going well up here?
good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
Think we already heard that?
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Okay. So, Morden wants to speak to us. Jack also wants to speak to us. Let's talk. Also, messages, Kelly? I mean, sure, we can check. But usually you tell us if we have any. Except we have none. Alright. Sure. Maybe that's why. Morden, you wanted to chat.
Shepard, important news. Know you're busy. Have to deal with the collectors. Planning attack. Too important to wait. Just receiving data. Still processing, analyzing likely scenarios. Not sure how to begin. Too much intel. You remember our talk? My work on genophage modification?
Yes, but remind us.
Why don't you refresh my memory?
Personally, led a team, created new version of genophage, released it onto Chunka, other colonies, restabilized Krogan population.
Okay. It's impressive work. Nah, not really. The whole genophage stuff, probably not something we are... Definitely not something we are supportive of.
I doubt you wanted to give me a history lesson. What's going on?
Blood Pack mercenaries captured former team member. Malin, last seen on Tuchanka, might torture him, make an example. Recovering Malin would be a personal favor to me.
I mean... Do those people know what you and Malin did? Is there a reason why they captured Malin? Is that why?
Do you think they found out your team updated the genophage?
Unclear. No way to determine until we get to Tuchanka.
Okay. In that case, do what we can.
We'll go to Tuchanka and see if we can find your team member.
Appreciate it. My assistant, my student, want to see him safe. Malin last seen outside Erdnot territory. Scouts might have seen Blood Pack. Talk to them or clan chief.
Alright, and... So if we take a look here, that is Morden Old Blood. Morden has learned that Bloodpack mercenaries have captured Malin, his former protege, and are holding him on Tuchanka. Malin helped Morden work on the Genophage project, so his capture raises possible security concerns. Travel to Tuchanka in the Aralok system, located in the Krogan DMZ, and speak with the clan chief or scout commander. So, well, as you can probably guess based on the description there, and based on the conversation that we just had, that is in fact Morden's loyalty mission, so that's good to see that we are getting another option to pursue, getting some loyalty from our squad mates. We, of course, recently learned of Jacob and Miranda's loyalty missions as well. Then we also have Jack wants to speak with us. Let's see what the deal is with her. Of course, we have the research terminal here, but we also had one at the lair of the Shadowbroker, and so we were able to, well, do any research we wanted at that time.
Jack would like to talk with you, Commander.
Thank you. We will do that, Kelly. But before doing so, maybe we just make a point of chatting with everyone. I mean, I'm not sure to what extent people will have updated things to say after completing Lair of the Shadowbroker, just because it is technically, or at least was technically, a DLC.
I hope we can clear up what's going on with the Gernsback, Commander. Doubt my father's alive after all this time. Was there anything else? Just eager to get going.
So this is Jacob reminding us of his loyalty mission, like, hey, Shepard, by the way, this is kind of important to me. It would mean a lot to me if you were to, make sure that we actually went there.
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
Okay, thoughts about the most recent mission, though? Will you say anything about Lair of the Shadowbroker?
How are we doing, Jacob? What's your sense of the mission?
Doing good, but good is just as dead as bad, if I understand the threat. How long can we last with collectors going wherever they want? Anything else, Commander?
Okay. What about the crew?
What do you think of the state of the crew?
Well, we don't have a full complement. We don't stand a chance without the right specialists on side. Anything else, Commander?
Okay, yeah, I think in that case we're good to
We'll
go.
talk later.
Commander.
Okay, so that's Jacob. Suppose we could try chatting with Morden again to see if he has anything to reflect upon from our most recent mission, although not sure if that is the case. Yes, I know, Kelly. I know, Kelly. You don't need to remind me again.
Still need to get to Tuchanka, Shepard. My students being held by Bloodpack.
Okay, yeah, and so similar story
Talk
here
to you later, Morden.
between
We'll be
Morden
here if you need me.
and Jacob. Shepard's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Please never ask me about this again. Now, let's just take it one floor at a time. So hard to tell with those two, since they both have loyalty missions that we have yet to do, so they're most focused on those, but perhaps other people that do not have loyalty missions ready to go may be more inclined to speak with us about other things, like perhaps Lair of the Shadowbroker.
If we have time, I'd like to go to Ilium and relocate my sister's family.
But, of course, Miranda is also one of those people who is waiting for us to complete her loyalty mission, so add her to the list of those people.
I'll let you know, Miranda.
Of course, Commander.
Add her to the list. Garrus, however, is not.
Shepard, need me for something?
I just wanted to talk.
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
Oh, the line. The line. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. No worries. No worries, Garrus. You can have all the time you need for those calibrations.
Talk to you later, Garrus.
I'll be here if you need me.
Alright, so that's Garrus. Nothing new from him, and yeah, as I suspected, I'm thinking we may not have much of anything coming from other people unless and until it's Jack, who of course we know specifically would like to speak with us. Oh, did we didn't chat with Kasumi at all on the second floor though, did we? Suppose we could try that. I mean, while we're down here. Let's see what Zaid thinks, if anything, about the most recent mission.
Back for another lesson. Trying to remember, what What was his name? Solarian infiltration specialist. 100-story man. Guy could disable a station security with a few taps on an Omni tool. He went to work with Eclipse a few years back. Had to kill him for a job. Your Morden Solus kind of reminds me of him.
Just because they're both Solarians?
Nice ship you got here. Roomy. Last ship I worked on, 2 men couldn't walk past each other in the hall unless they were really good friends.
Oh, I get what you mean, I guess.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
Alright, so a little more from Saeed. I don't imagine much over here from these two. Any off comments as we walk by? No? Perhaps not? Okay. In which case, let's make a point of chatting with Jack, because, well, we know she'd like to talk, which is, not something we hear much from Jack.
I got thoughts like little bugs crawling in and out of my head. I can't stop them.
Okay.
You know I have a history with Cerberus. You know how far back it goes?
Actually, we kind of do. 2170, I believe.
I'll listen to anything you have to say, Jack.
Your pal, the elusive man? Never seen him before, but Cerberus raised me. First thing I remember is my cell door in a Cerberus base. They did experiments, drugged me, tortured me. Whatever chance I had to be normal, they stole it by trying to turn me into some superbiotic. The doctors, the other kids, every one of them hated me. They let me suffer.
Oh. That sounds lovely. Do you know why they did that?
What did they hope to gain by torturing a little girl?
It was something about pain breaking down mental barriers and how it might clear the way for a more biotic power. I'm sure there was a payoff due at some point, but I wasn't gonna see it. I was wired up in a cell.
Okay. In that case, oh, and interestingly, of course, we learned from the Shadow Broker dossier that the reason for Jack's tattoos was to cover up some of her scars, and now just seeing her back here, I mean, it's hard to tell what is technically a tattoo and what is technically a scar. Lids, technically, tattoos are scars, sort of, yeah. Fair point. But, like, on her left tricep, near the back of her left arm, is that sort of line, the parallel lines that meet. That's or not parallel, perpendicular lines, I should say, that meet. Is that a tattoo, or is that just an outright scar from whatever the remnants are of the torture, or whatever the after effects are of the torture that they put you through?
They tortured you just to see if they could make a strong biotic? That's it?
Wasn't in a position to ask, Shepard. All I know is a little girl crying in a cell, begging for the pain to stop.
That does sound pretty terrible, and no, I don't think we go down that route. That's pretty cruel. What about... were there others in a similar situation?
There were other children in the base?
I didn't know much about them. I was kept separate. They hated me just like everyone else there. When I broke out, I had to fight through them all. I showed them, but there's a loose end I need to deal with.
Oh? Okay, well, how did you escape then?
How did you get out of there?
There was some kind of emergency, and I made a break for it. The other kids came out of their cells and attacked me. So did the guards. I just killed everything in my way and ran. Guess my biotics had developed faster than they thought. I managed to get a shuttle off the ground. Drifted until a freighter picked me up. The crew used me, then sold me. That's my uplifting escape story.
Oh. Okay. And you're sure this was Cerberus at the time?
You're absolutely certain that Cerberus was running the facility?
I was a kid, but I wasn't dumb. I know how to listen. It was Cerberus. Don't care how far down the chain it was. They thought they were so clever. Turns out, mess with someone's head enough and you can turn a scared kid into an all-powerful bitch. Fucking idiots.
Okay, it sounds like we may want to do something to help you sort out that issue. the lingering resentment, if you will. Especially since we are currently working for Cerberus.
I'm gonna talk to the elusive man, and he'd better have some answers.
He'll just deny everything. That's not what I'm after anyway. I found the coordinates in your files. I want to go to the Telton facility on Pragia where they tortured and drugged me. I want to go to the center of the place, my cell. I want to deploy a big fucking bomb, and I want to watch from orbit when it goes.
Oh. Okay. So destroying a Cerberus base. Again, technically our employer.
Attacking our allies is gonna derail our mission. Not a smart move.
The files say it was shut down after my escape. It's been abandoned for years. They going to care if I blow up a garbage dump?
I guess. I mean, probably not thrilled about it, but maybe not an immediate sign of us. Not going to immediately get us fired or start an internal war among Cerberus. Yeah, why now?
You've lived with this your whole life. Why do this now?
Like I said, I found the coordinates in your files. You can't expect me to just sit on information like that.
Alright, fair enough. I mean, not now exactly, but let's do it.
I'll set a course for Pragia.
I owe you, Shepard.
Alright, so go to Pragia. Jack revealed that Cerberus operatives raised her in a remote facility where they tortured and abused her. He wants to return to the abandoned facility to destroy it. Travel to Pragia in the Daka system, located in the Nubian Expanse. So that would be, of course, Jack's loyalty mission in that case. So we are starting to get them to accumulate here. They are, of course, technically optional missions, but as I believe I was saying once before, if I have one piece of advice to you if you're playing this game along with us for the first time, do all the loyalty missions. So don't forget about them. Do not forget about them. They are extremely important. But for reasons I will not discuss here to avoid spoilers, but trust me. We forgot to chat with Kasumi. Let's head back up over to her real quick. See what she's up to. Does she have anything to say about our most recent mission, or just generally to reflect upon?
People are talking out there, and I hear it all.
Oh, okay.
Liara Tassoni's got quite a reputation. I've done business with her people before.
Oh, okay, there you have it. Apparently, she's done business with Liara.
I'm not really sure what to do with myself. Not much call for thievery aboard a ship.
I mean, hopefully you're not stealing from Shepard. Stealing from Cerberus, you know, things outside of directly Shepard's property. Maybe a little more okay. Preferably not our other squad mates, though.
Not a lot of people go in and out of Dr. Chakwa's office, other than to get medical attention, I mean. I hear you shared a drink with her. That's really nice. I imagine with all that's happened, old friends are becoming a luxury.
Yeah, you know, you're not wrong.
Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
Alright, in that case. Yes, in fact, Kasumi did have a little bit more to say, including some things that, at least about Liara, I think that was probably in response to having completed Lair of the Shadow Broker. Anything, Kelly? Eh?
How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
Anyone else we should talk to?
Now.
No?
Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Thank you, Kelly. So yeah, at this point, that means we are loading up on a bunch more main quest missions between those loyalty missions we're talking about, as well as recruiting, Tally, Samara, Thane, and more loyalty missions here. We have options. We certainly do have options.